Alrighty, hello, 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 welcome back. Happy Sunday to y'all. Happy, what's today, March 14th. Tomorrow's the Ides of March. Beware, 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 beware the Ides of March. We're here today, we're loading up the Kaldvann. It might take 2 loads to get something weird's been happening. I might need to just back it up because then this weird thing where if I load up the Kaldvann and the first time I load it up, road textures in some buildings appear, so I back out and then I reload it and then everything appears just fine. I don't know if it's just because it's a very populated route with a lot of stuff in a very small area. I don't particularly know why it does that, but so it does. It seems like it's taking a bit to load this time. Okay, good. Glad the music and my voice are fine. Thank you, Wisconsin. So it might take a little bit to load, but other than that, hopefully, considering how long it's taking, hopefully it will be just fine. But I have not set a game plan today, because every time I set a game plan, I don't actually get anything done. So, yeah. Howdy, DT. Hello. So I don't have any game plan. We might do some terraforming work. Might do some actual road laying. We might place more buildings. I've been working on a smaller airport in the downtown. It's Trondheim Centrum, or Trondheim Downtown Airport. I kind of did something cool with some lights to kind of make an offset approach to avoid taller buildings on the approach, but it's quite interesting. I'll hopefully, once it decides to load here, which it does take a minute or two to load for the first time of the day. Here we go. Yep, so see, it didn't load in everything. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, it's loading. Oh, no, shit. So I'm gonna let this all load up. It is taking a hard thunk. It's a very hefty route. Oof, it is thinking. Also doesn't help I have the draw distance set really high. So this load is gonna take a hot second. There we go. So let me move over to here real quick. Oh god, it is taking a second. So we have this cool little area right here. But if you look at these white lights, they're supposed to imitate the lead-in lights at the airport. Because you got the tall buildings over here and the jets are going to fly down this way. Of course, they're supposed to like flash kind of just like one after the other, but wasn't able to quite do that. And the planes will bank left here on very short final, a very shallow bank to the left, and then we're able to land. Because if you look here from the runway, kind of some buildings in the way, right there. So they kind of have to make a slight bank out of the way. Not very uncommon. A lot of airports do that with these offset approaches. So just something interesting I did, and had to really play with the assets a little bit here just to get it to actually do what I wanted it to do. But so I've been doing more building placing over here in Rosenborg, which is kind of the second downtown for Trondheim, just across the way from the actual downtown. So if we look over here, we have this downtown, which slowly just kind of getting wrapped up. I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do with this area, and I'm going to do some more kind of old buildings, and then right about here is going to be a small kind of park on both sides of the street, and then we're going to taper off into the residential like we have over here, but mostly more just houses and such. Over here is going to be a lot of older brick style buildings that are going to be kind of converted into apartments, so maybe try to find some textile mills. I have to kind of develop an older port looking area that's now since abandoned. How about putting a Ferris wheel over here, which would be kind of nice, something different. And then over here, like I said, so this is kind of the newer, or the second downtown. Love this intersection. Like, I just love how this came out. It just gives some character to the area. And I've slowly gone through and placed some more buildings. We're just kind of slowly dragging it out. I extended the line and replaced the signals. I'm no longer using, because a while ago I asked Reggie if I could have his R2s. I don't really know how R2s work and how they're supposed to be set up, so I'm just going back to the G style. I might switch to searchlights just because I know the searchlights work a little better, so I might switch to those. Plopped in the station, and then of course over here I have the airport station. So this is Centrum Lufthaven, which sits over here, which I've been doing a little work with that. And just a little itty bitty airport for turboprops, that's it. So yeah, I might use some of the JR industry buildings. I don't know particularly what I'm going to use. Also, this is going to be the interchange for the highway that heads towards Forlosningsvik. Because Forlosningsvik sits way. Add like 15 more ways. Way. Howdy, Phil. Way. Did I mention way? Possibly way. Could be way over here. Not quite sure. Way over here. This is the highway it has to link up with. So it's all the way over here. Of course, I have to possibly renumber the highways over here, because this is a small highway that kind of dead ends over there at the airport and the harbor, and then we'll continue on and kind of head towards other parts of the island. So this is kind of the connector between this town, Forlosningsvik, and it's going to kind of connect up to Trondheim, which sits roughly over here. So it's about, I mean, it's quite a bit of ways. So 2.5 baseboards equals a mile. So 1, 2, half, 1, 2. So that's 2 miles. 1, 2, half, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, half, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, half, 1, 2, 7. I'm sorry, 8. 1, 2, half. So about 9.5 miles. So it's about 9.5 miles of highway that I have to develop, as well as rail line that kind of meanders along. And no, that's those were Q3s. Yeah, those are Q300s. But anyways, so one thing I did want to do today is kind of work on particularly, I think it was this area over here, because I wanted to get some of the bigger box stores over here, kind of make the shopping district, which doesn't make a whole, I don't think it might make a whole lot of sense to have it right over here, just because it's kind of a hassle to get to. But it may have been the only area to develop in. Because unlike towns out in like the Midwest that I was able to observe, like, you know, you might have a Walmart kind of close to the middle of town, and some of these kind of smaller communities are and whatnot. But out here, it's, you know, may have been the only place they had to build on. So let's go grab some of the TBS buildings, like Best Buy and Walmart and such. Let's just do it this way. This would be kind of like a small mall area. Like a shopping complex. And I don't want to have really huge parking lots. I'm going to kind of put in a parking garage, or at least 1 or 2 parking garages. What's this one? That's nice. wonder if I can find a better looking sign, though. Alright, well, there's that. Walmart. I think they are. I'm not actually gonna hook up airways and stuff like that for the planes to fly on. They're just purely static. That would take a little too much time, and honestly, I just really don't want to. I don't have the patience to sit there and actually hook up the places for the airplanes to go off and fly around, so... Hey, Unreal. Welcome, welcome. So I know this is not very particularly European, as I've done with most of the stylings, but again, we do sit fairly close to Newfoundland and North America, so kind of pulling a lot of inspiration from, yes, both European architecture, but also just American culture as well, or North American culture. And particularly a big part of North American culture and living is these larger kind of shopping centers or plazas, or whatever you so wish to call them. This one's kind of nestled at the foot of a hill or mountain, but I might need to maybe smooth out a little bit. I don't know if I like that bump up there. Hawk Air is the name of the airline on those aircraft that were sitting over there. I'm assuming they're an actual airline. I'm not entirely positive. It was something I downloaded off the DLS. It has a Canadian registration, so they're probably a Canadian airline, obviously. But I personally have never heard of them. Up until I downloaded them. This guy reminds me of the Walmart out in Conway, New Hampshire. Kind of sits like right at the base of a hill and stuff like that. I also might change out Logan's bank sign for something a little more Kaldvannish. Also wouldn't be a Walmart unless we had oops, if I can spell my country's name. Just got done building a small shopping center with a spur line in the parking lot. In the parking lot, wow. Something I've always seen on Walmart, it's just a flagpole, kind of. Put right above the building. Best Buy could probably go more over this way. So we need to kind of figure out what's going to sit in between here. I also need to go grab the Walmart sign. Stick this over here. That or just move this up. Okay, so we'll drag that. I can't actually grab that. Nope. Ah, don't tell me. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, so we'll place this right back here. And then the Best Buy can go, kind of put it off to the side like this, rotate it a little bit. So there'll probably be a smaller parking lot here. Then what I'm imagining is probably an entrance road, and then probably somewhere here will be a parking garage. What I'm also probably imagining, it's now Kaldvann. It used to be Ison. Since changed the name. It's actually, funny enough, Phil. So a while ago, a friend of mine was importing those SketchUp models and actually imported a couple of my aircraft. Which, yes, Kaldvann used to be called Ison. It's gone through a couple of name changes as I've slowly gotten older. Toby. Yeah, there's the 747. And there's the P3 Orion that I made a while ago. Hey, Topes, knock it off. But since, like I said, has gone through a name change, no longer Ison, now Kaldvann, Kaldvann, as the name would on the video would suggest. So a small history lesson on what's been going on here. Hi, Toby. Yep, way back. Way back when I was, oh hell, 11, 12, I believe. Just wondering if, because I need like restaurants too, because I'll. Hi, Toby. Yeah, I've just slowly kind of morphed things over the years. I wonder. Hey, Topes. Alright. I need to see. I wonder if there's a Texas Roadhouse. 'Cause it seems like every time I go to a shopping plaza, there's always a Texas Roadhouse. Oh. Ah, there is not. Now let's see what we can get here. That's upsetting. I kind of wanted a Texas Roadhouse. I like that one. Always fun trying to find buildings. Of course it's not, it's the DLS. Yeah, exactly. Well, you'd think with all the other assets out there that people make it, someone at some point would have made a Texas Roadhouse. Or ask someone to make a Texas Roadhouse, but I guess not. Hey, RTR fan. Now let's just look at what Dave Snow has. No, I do not have that there, Phil. Like I said, I don't do a lot of, I think it's on my laptop, but I don't really do SketchUp anymore. Everything I create is pretty much on the flight sim now. So I like some restaurants, like, let me see, Red Robin's? Oh. Alright. Just type in Red Robs. Dare fuck? Okay. Buffalo Wild Wings. Nope. Okay. That's how you spell that. Yeah, there's a Dunkin' Donuts, which I'll probably add in this. Are you fucking kidding me? Did I spell restaurant wrong? Restaurant. I think I spelled that right, didn't I? Okay. McDonald's. Donald's. So I don't think I particularly have a good model with McD's. McD's nuts. Mr. Dave Snow did one. Of course it's in-fucking compatible. Urgh. Ah, so I didn't. Well, that's upsetting. Right in the middle of a fucking live stream. It looks like a French word, so I blame the French. It's for TS19, which I get it, you know. That's not a Cracker Barrel. Kaldvann. Don't they serve chicken? Or that's something different I'm thinking of. Kyoto. Just trying to see what there is. Oh, an Olive Garden. At Papa John's, you can have a racist pizza. Oh, 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 a steak and shake. Can I get one without the base though? No, I probably can't. Oh yeah, a T-bell. Don't mind if I do. That's a nice Subway. No, it's for TS. If it's for Trains 2019, it cannot work in Tane. Unless the author were to specifically make it for Tane. It just ain't gonna work. Zaxby's, what the fuck is that? Oh wait, Culver's is the ice cream place. Zaxby's, I think, is the chicken place. If I recall correctly. Which I probably didn't, so... We could put in a Zaxby's, I guess. Can't we? There's a Wendy's. It's an old-ass Wendy's. Well, you can't be picky, Jaden. Oh, I know. I want that steak and shake, though. Steak and shake is the shit. I'll just make my own parking lot around it. Alright, let's see what we got here. No. Kyoto. Ow. Hey, look, it's Karma. Yeah, I don't want a Hardee's. Do I put in a Culver's? I'll download it. I'll probably need it for something. A Burger Queen. I don't think I need a Burger Queen. I do need an Applebee's. No, I think that's all we're gonna get. I don't really think I need anything else. Yeah, I don't see anything else that really particularly piques my interest. Yeah, I'm done with that. Download the sign, I suppose. Oh, Tim Hortons. Oh, that didn't look good. Alright, yep, that's all we're gonna do. So, let's go ahead and do restaurant. Restaurante. Alright, so let's see what we got here. We got a Taco Bell. Looks like came straight out of the 90s. Okay. quinoa food. Oh, what? I downloaded one of these? What the hell was I smoking? Ugh, why did I do that? That's a sin. Ugh, I can't even, nope. Nothing more in the world than I hate than Red Lobster. I do not like Red Lobster. To which people out in the Midwest ask me, well, why is that? Well, I don't know. Where did I grow up, by chance? Ooh, that is a nice Dairy Queen. This will be over here. Oh yeah. Grill and chill. Slice of Americana. That's a nice KFC too. Holy hell. I like the other KFC I downloaded. I think it's That's over here. That might go over there. Yeah. I get fresh fish over here. Why the heck would I want to go to a Red Lobster? Like, I went to a Red Lobster because my ex-fiance wanted to go, right? Now, where I grew up, I'm about 20-25 minutes south of the Portland Headlight. Now, for those who don't know what the Portland Headlight is, let's just go to here real quick. This is the Portland Headlight. This famous, if you ever look up a picture of Maine, you get, okay, that's a bad picture. You get that big famous lighthouse on the Rocky Coast. I live 20 minutes south of this thing. This is Fort Williams, the Portland Headlight. I've been here 1,000 times. Like, I love going here. It is, honestly, it's a tourist trap. It is iconically Maine. Like, this is iconically Maine. And I love it. I love coming here. It is so beautiful. It's a really, really cool part of Maine. So, I go to Red Lobster, and the booth they sit us in sits right next to this giant painting on the wall of the Portland Headlight. So already I walk in, and I'm just being reminded of home, which I'm missing, because, I'm in fucking Illinois. And I don't want to be in Illinois. I want to go home. But I moved out there because that's where my life took me, and I was there with my soon-to-be fiance and stuff like that. That's where I was living, so it was what it was. I think we'll have an Arby's too because they have the meats. This could be like the one area that, like, you kind of go to and has all like the American stuff. We're gonna put this the KFC over here. There'll be some kind of like bigger sit-down restaurants too, like an Olive Garden and Applebee's. If I can find something else that kind of fits the theme, but then I think across the street I'll maybe throw in like an actual mall. So this, like I said, this is the big like shopping district. So what I need to do is divide it out to be, Walmart, the strip mall, Best Buy. I could probably throw in. I know Logan did a Menards. I could probably put in a Menards somewhere over here. But I don't want to take up the whole space. I could probably figure out something. The only thing I could think of is take out this little strip mall, put the Best Buy in between, then the Menards right here. Which I think I'll do. Let me see. Steak and shake. I'm gonna sink the parking lot. And I'll build my own. Oh, I love it. I miss Steak and Shake. But, so we sit down and stuff like that, and I figured, okay, Red Lobster. They have the word lobster in the name. So, I was told I could get whatever I wanted, so I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna get a lobster. And so, order a lobster. And the waitress just looks at me. She's like, we don't have, you can't just order just a lobster. I'm like, pardon? She's like, yeah, no, you can't just order just a lobster. You know, we put lobster in most of our dishes. I'm like, so I can't get like lobster claws and a tail and stuff like that? You don't even have like a lazy man's lobster? And she's like, well, no, we don't really use the claws. Like the claws kind of gets used in like other dishes, but we don't really use a lot of the claw. We mostly just use the tails. I'm like, so you mean to tell me that you're a place called Red Lobster and I can't even order a lobster? No, we really don't do that here. And I just stared at her. I just stared at this lady. And I mean, I know she's doing her job, so I didn't give a whole lot of attitude and stuff like that. But I just looked at her. Like, what do you mean to tell me that I came to Red Lobster and I can't order a lobster? Like, what the hell do you mean? Like, this makes 0 sense. And I told her that. I'm like, well, this kind of makes 0 sense. And she's like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but, you know, it's something that we just don't do. You know, if you want to, like, lobster, you got to, like, you know, go up to the East Coast and stuff. I said, I know, I'm from Maine. I said, I've been to this painting on the wall. I live, like, right down the way from it. And my girlfriend's parents just kind of looked at me like, all right, well, maybe you can just order something else on the menu. I'm like, I think I'll just get an appetizer at this point. Bread balls were pretty good. Like, they have those cheddar something. I don't know. They had like these little like bread balls that you can eat and stuff like that. And they were pretty good, but other than that, I was pretty thoroughly pissed off. I'm like, it's called Red Lobster. It's literally called that. And I can't order a lobster? How does this make any sense? How is this legal, first of all? This doesn't make any sense. I was pissed. I wanted to go home. You know, we did that for her birthday, and I think actually later that summer I did go home, and I took Hannah out, and we went somewhere, I think for my mom's birthday or something. I forget when, it was either 2017 or 2018, I think it was 17 when we went. Yeah, I took Hannah home, and she had an actual lobster, like, a whole lobster, and when they brought that thing out, you know, that bright red lobster on a plate, she stared at it and looked at it like she thought it was fake. She thought it was plastic. Like we brought our plastic lobster to prank her and stuff like that. And you know, we showed her like, no, this is the actual lobster. And like, you know, I showed her how to break the claw or like, you know, use the tools to break the claws and stuff like that. And she was in a bit of bewilderment, but she finally got it. But yeah, no, I was like, all right, you know, she wanted to go to Red Lobster. She likes seafood, so we went. All right, you know, it's like I don't want. Like, I had already kind of stuck my nose up at it because I heard it wasn't good. But she wanted to go for her birthday, and her parents were gonna take her, and I'm like, all right, fine, you know, I'll go because it's my girlfriend, and you know, she doesn't like everything I do, of course, so you know, I'll go with her. Never again, because we left and like. Her parents and her thought it was all kind of funny and stuff, and I walked out, and I was like running to the car, and they asked me like, so son, you want to come back next month? I'm like, never again. Like, oh, it wasn't that. I'm like, no, that was horrible. You know, I went on the fact of like, how can you call it Red Lobster but you don't serve a whole ass lobster? Like, what the fuck is this? It doesn't make any sense. Needless to say, I did not go back. And I never will go back. If that's like the last place I got to eat at, nope. I am all set. Not going back. I think also this is what I do half the stream is like look for stuff on the DLS and just chat. There's like a mall building. Let me see if I put it down somewhere. Put it down by the airport. I did not. Ah, shit. That means I gotta go over here. there were places out in the Midwest I liked eating at. Like I like Steak and Shake, and I liked going Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box was yummy, and trying to think of all the places that were out there. There was a lot of places. I had Red Robin's a couple of times, and it was pretty good. Although I found out we have a Red Robin's here in Maine, so like, you know, that's cool. I loved Rallies. Rallies was good. Them Rally fries. Rallies and Checkers. Some people have Checkers and some people have Rallies. Rallies was good. I love Rallies. Yeah, we don't. You know, there's a lot of restaurants that I left behind that I miss. I miss Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake was so good. But you didn't go for the service. You didn't go for the atmosphere. You went for the cheap food. And honestly, the shakes were pretty good. There's a Steak and Shake they built in Temecula, California, that I happened across. Like they had just built it like a couple years ago, not even. Honestly, and it's so weird walking into a brand new Steak and Shake, because all the Steak and Shakes I've been to look like this, and this one was like posh and nice and clean and beautiful, and like the wait staff was honestly very friendly. I know that damn building's around here somewhere. It's like a mall. It kind of looks a little nicer and stuff that I'll probably throw over here. I'll probably divide it with the restaurants and such, but gotta find the damn thing. Oh, here it is. It's kind of like a little mall. Probably where a lot of like smaller clothing stores would be, or I don't know if it's like an actual like standalone store. I think it's a mall. Looks like it anyways. Could be like this, you know, Swedish version of like Macy's for all I know. So I'll put it over here. Also, like, I don't even really know where to put it. I might put it closer towards the road. Might not tuck it up over here. I really need like a home improvement store to throw over there. Is it loading at all? No. Can hook up the Best Buy next to it. So maybe it looks a little cohesive. Kind of works, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Never actually really built a mall. I don't know if I want to use this building really anymore. It's a little bit taller than I want, and I'm assuming it's like multiple levels. I hope that's not just all ceiling. Which kind of leads me to believe it's like a mall, because there's like there is multiple levels here. So that's kind of my theory behind it. So I might tuck it back up in here. do like a small little area about here. Probably another parking garage behind these buildings, so that's probably what I'll do. Because I really want a Menards over here or something, but I don't think we're gonna get one in. It might be just a little too big or whatever. Oh, so I have to work out tonight. God, I really don't want to. But I feel like my sides have gotten a little soft. Like, I thought I lost a lot of weight through this pandemic, which I did, because I've been out of work, so I haven't had a lot of food lying around. But the other thing too is, like, you know, last I had weighed myself, I was about 130 some odd pounds, low 130s. Weighed myself recently at my dad's house, and I was like 148, 149. I'm like, ooh, I've gone up. And that's the most I've ever weighed. I'm like, I've never been, I mean, that close to 150. And, like, you know, I have been kind of doing odd jobs here, and I also did move, which kind of worked me out a little bit. But I've never weighed that much, and I also stopped to think, like, I've been sitting and stuff like that. I haven't really done a whole lot. Like, you know, it's a very real possibility that I have gained weight. And I don't like that notion. You know, that is, I mean, it's a decent looking asset. $10 says it doesn't have night mode. This place, like, closes at nighttime, I guess. Oh, it's like 9 p.m. Yep, no night mode. I guess things close early out here. Oof. Yeah, it looks like the old one. Nothing would pop up. Oh. A modern U.S. chain restaurant with generally mediocre food. I don't know why it's funny. I like that. A modern U.S. chain restaurant with generally mediocre food. I'll download that one and see if it you know, turns out a little better. I'm also going to delete this one. I just want more stuff with night modes. Because a lot of problem with the buildings I use is the fact that they don't have a night mode. Which kind of ticks me off. It's like, I know a lot of, like, you know, assets and trains don't look good at night. And you'd rather not see them at night, honestly. Like, you're not missing anything if you don't have anything with a night mode, because nighttime in trains just sucks. But it would be nice to have a little bit of choice. Like, okay, you know, I could possibly, you know, do stuff at night, because, you know. Also, let's see, JR Strip Mall. Mediocre food. I'm gonna put this sign down. I'm gonna skin this later. I'm gonna skin this sign up later, and you know, it'll be the. This isn't Marienburg anymore, is it? I don't think it is. I'll figure out a name for it. It's got to fit the area though, so. But I'll put a sign in because obviously we're gonna have the main entrance gonna be like right here-ish. So it's not the biggest area in the world. So well, I imagine, like I said, this is probably 2 levels. You know, you have like the main shops down here. It's probably more than just that, because it looks like a woman's clothing store. You know, boutiques and stuff like that. But I imagine 2nd level, because I imagine this right here is a footbridge of some kind connecting the 2 buildings up without having to step outside. So I think this is 2 levels, and there's other shops up top, which they're probably like little retail stores. So yeah, it's not a. I mean, it's a big building in comparison to other buildings. So I mean, there probably is a bunch of stores up here. So quite a bit of people coming down to here, plus a Walmart, Best Buy. That I think I have a Kroger. I'll probably throw in, or an Aldi. I'll probably put in a Aldi and a Kroger across the street. The only other Kroger I have sits by the school. And I put this here specifically because I felt there needed to be a larger grocery chain. And I like Logan's model, and I've just kind of not wanted to take it out, just because I kind of like it. I think it's small and it's nice enough, so. So I like that, but I'll put that over there on the other side of town, because I think it's needed. This road's gonna kind of it'll be a turn, and then the main road that will come in. That road's gonna have to do something back here. It's gonna probably turn and then follow the hill and do something over here. I don't know. It's gonna be weird how we get that all to kind of go. Either that or the avenue kind of dead ends, and it either goes straight in and. Probably actually put Menards over here, because what honestly am I going to do there? Nothing. I'll probably put either a Home Depot or a Menards right there, or some sort of home improvement center. I'll see what's kind of also the big home improvement stores out in Europe and stuff, because I know that they have like some, you know, a lot of English models on the DLS too. So I'll probably check and see. Like I think, is it H Gregg? I think is one, a store that I know off the top of my head from listening to the Euro Truck radio. But I think what's going to happen is this avenue, because this avenue right here is probably going to, it's going to have to do something. I have no clue what's going to happen here. I really didn't plan this area too far in advance, just because it's not the easiest thing to do. I think the fast food restaurants will sit on this side of the street. And then kind of the sit-down restaurants will sit over there. Let's see, parking, garage. Just to avoid having these giant parking lots. Because that was one thing. I think, who the fuck was it? It was, why can't I think of his name? He was doing like a Swiss route, on in the AM server. I think it's hey David. Of course, I can't think of his fucking name now, and it's really gonna drive me crazy. Why can't I think of his name? Gosh, that's gonna bug me. Yeah, fuck. Oh well. Because he was building a Swiss route, and I fell in love with it. What is his name? Gosh darn it. Hmm. Of course, he'd pop into a call, or if he posted something, I'd know him. I'd know him right off the top of my head. But he was building a Swiss route, and something that he had mentioned from looking at my city was there's a lot of places out in like Europe, they don't have parking spaces between the buildings like I've created, which I need to go back and kind of do different things with. Like he said, it's a lot of park space. Welcome back, Unreal. It's like a lot of park space, and you know, that's kind of what they do with the back sides of these kind of buildings. So like in these blocks right here, I was kind of thinking of putting in some parking. Well, he said what actually goes in here is like parks or kiosks, and other times there's other buildings back here that they kind of threw in. You know, so I need to be creating more kind of park space and trees and stuff like that. Like over here, I intended on having like a parking lot here and kind of a parking lot here. So what I'm going to do is create like a park space, and then there'll be kind of maybe like a little street that goes this way with on-street parking. It's mostly just a street but with parking on the side. And then just kind of, you know, kind of else need to make this kind of disappear. I don't really know what to do with that. I might try and find some graffiti or like a billboard of sorts and tuck it on the side of that building. But to kind of hide it with trees and stuff. And same for over here, like try to hide these with trees. But this is going to be predominantly just street with trees and grass and paths and stuff that kind of leaks people around to the back sides of these buildings. So that's what needs to be done with the back sides of all these buildings is grass and trees. So, you guys, like this was a blank side of the building, and obviously they went in and graffitied the whole side of it, which I love. But need to be keeping that in mind that not everything is a parking space. Welcome back, United. So now I need the main parking garage for the main shopping complex here. I could probably get away with the parking lot for this area, and that just be that, and have a lot of the restaurants kind of be here. I could probably do that, honestly. I could probably do that. Well, first of all, let's get in, do Epcot. Oh. I think they pulled over a kid that was dating the girl I had a huge crush on in high school. That's awkward. I always thought he was kind of a douchebag. And I always thought she was really hot. Really, really hot. I still think she's very beautiful, but never talked to her. Never talked to her. probably just throw Walmart and all the big box stores onto this sign, honestly. Alright, so let's see how we're gonna do this. This is kind of one of the areas that I didn't really think of how I was gonna tackle this. So we're just kind of doing it, honestly. I don't really have a game plan. I think I'm just gonna straight up paint the areas with asphalt, and I'll fill in where I want other things, because it's just gonna be a large parking area, honestly. So I think that will kind of help keep this area kind of also compact. Like, I know this is very big, but I did kind of want some of the areas outlying to kind of be like smaller apartment buildings, then kind of fade back and light residential, and kind of, you know, even really like in these back areas start fading off into kind of, what game is this? This is Trains: A New Era. So it's actually a train simulator. And I'm kind of using it for something really different. Alright, I need my bus. Where's my bus at? Measuring bus. Because obviously the bus line's also going to come up here too, so I need to have the bus. Where did I leave them buses at? There is no buses. Ah, there they are. So yeah, this is kind of one area that I'm just not really sure on how to accomplish it. I don't really know where the border's going to be, David. I know we border Newfoundland, but we're an island, so I don't know how exactly we're going to get to Newfoundland, okay? All I know is right now that we are bordering Newfoundland. We're off the coast. I would like to have a land connection with them via a bridge, but that would be a really long bridge across, you know, a very, very long stretch of water. It wouldn't be worth to do a car float with them because, you know, I would like to have an actual bridge to get CP freight trains to come in. And like I said, I don't particularly know where I would hook in with them. It would probably be more in the south, but, you know, I need to figure it out. I think in the grand scheme of things, no, apparently it's all one word. I believe I'm off the coast of... Here's the town. I think we are more up here. Well, thank you, Kurt. I really appreciate that. Like, I think we're up here. Like, originally I think I had said I wanted to be more down here, but I think that would put us too far south. Yeah, put us up here in Mary's Harbor. But I think I wanted to be more north. So we'd probably hook in with CP, or you know, a fictional line of CP, probably up around here. Probably near South Alatsvik Island. I mean, there really isn't a whole lot up here. Yeah, so we'll probably hook in up here. Or at least say that there was a railroad that was built up here to hook us up with the rest of the system. Because I imagine the railroad would kind of be more down here, so it'd be a long stretch. I don't know. I could even say that I'm, you know, with the... Is it the... Quebec Northland, or... What's that? Which is pretty... Ontario Northland, or whatever the hell it is. You know, I could even just come up with another fictional railroad to hook up with that is Canadian. The point being is I would like a bridge of sorts to hook us up. It would be a long bridge. But I haven't really thought that part out yet. Originally, I thought I'd be closer to Canada and have a bridge that would span about a mile, but I figured that's a little too close. I'll cross that bridge when I get there, is all I'm trying to tell you, David. So, but the idea is that we are off the coast of Newfoundland. Yeah, I saw. But I'll figure it out when I get there, and not a moment sooner. Because right now I want to focus on building here and building this island first before I start figuring out things like land connections and the borders and whatnot. You know, because being connected, because the whole idea was being connected to North America always kept us in influence with the rest of North America. Maybe 3 lanes. There'll be 2 lanes entering. Yep, same bus. Just using it again because, you know, it's part of the Trondheim bus system, so I need to make sure I'm measuring correctly. Correctly, I did. Yeah, I did. There, that keeps me about lined up. is that? Alright, now let's grab some lines. And I can type today. Double white, solid, do this one. Alright, so that's going to be there. So 3 lanes in. This will probably be a left turn lane. I probably will not go live tomorrow. I actually have an interview with Delta Airlines on Tuesday, so I'll probably be taking tomorrow to kind of get ready, get prepared, and just... So I'm still kind of holding out for TSA, but if I get back to Delta, it's only part-time working on the ramp in Portland. Which, you know, I used to work ramp for Southwest, so it's kind of doing something I already know and love. You know, I have high hopes that I'm able to go in and hopefully get a call back from them very quickly. I feel I'm a little overqualified for the job, but I need to remain grounded and understand that, you know, just because I did work this job before, though for a different airline, I can still be passed up for other offers. But point being is no, tomorrow I will not stream. You know, I need to get ready, and I wasn't informed about breaking anything. Because I asked if I needed to, and they never emailed me back. But I think I'll just go ahead and get my stuff together. You know, birth certificate, resume, all that other stuff, just so when I go in, I can be right there, and if they request it, I can give it to them. But I'm not nervous, so... Yep, I'll be working for Delta, hopefully. DGS, Delta Global Services. I don't know if that's just how they refer to their ramp or their... Alright, we will be here, hopefully, Kurt. I'm going to be streaming for, hopefully, another couple hours, so enjoy your supper, as we call it up here. But, should these lines be thicker? I feel like these lines should be thicker at the stoplight. What did I do over in, Rosenborg? What did I do over here? I used the thick lines. I think I'm gonna stick with the thick lines. But I'm very nervous about the interview. You know, I haven't been to work in over a year at a real job, technically. Yeah, I did the landscaping just with a buddy of mine for a little while. But, you know, that was kind of a few hours here and there every day, and, you know, if I didn't show up, it wasn't the end of the world because nothing really happened to me. So I haven't really worked a real job, and I haven't really had a real income in such a long time. So hopefully also this can help me stay in shape, because like I said, I gotta work out tonight. I don't like the feeling of my sides being very soft, and you know, I've always kind of prided myself on being fairly skinny. So I need to kind of get back on that and whatever. But yeah, I'll hopefully be working for Delta if all goes well, and the only other thing I need to really look into is, you know, I have that opportunity with the TSA, and they're still conducting my background check, which actually I should probably take a look and see how that's going, if I've received any emails from them. Which addresses. Yeah, nothing from TSA yet, which I'm nervous about too. Just needless to say, I'm nervous altogether. I'm just over here kind of dying at this point. So I'm very nervous. You know, I was never happier, except on that ramp. I miss working on that ramp with Southwest, and I wish I wish things could have ended differently. I wish I still could be there. You know, even though this pandemic happened, and I foresee me have probably been laid off for that. Although it would have helped me out still, because at least I could have applied for unemployment while I was out, unlike now where I have no income, not even unemployment. So let's see, hold on. So left turn lane to go back to town. It's going to be straight to kind of go that way, which is just that way. I don't imagine a whole lot being over there. Kind of a road out, probably. Probably being like right in here. I think, anyways. Maybe crossing these tracks again. Kind of starting to meander out of town through these hills. And leaving through this, there'll probably be an intersection over here and then breaks off and whatever, but I don't know, I'll figure that out. But I think this will be a smaller road in the grand scheme of things, so I think I'll do 2 left turn lanes out of here, and then I'll do a left and right, or straight and right turn lane, just in case anyone's leaving the facility and they want to like come over here to Walmart, because but yeah, like I said, needless to say, I am incredibly nervous, just because, you know, I miss being on the ramp, and I love being around aircraft, and, you know, they always say, you know, find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life, and at Southwest, I never worked. I was always having fun. I was doing things I like to do. I was free to really, you know, just be there, and it'd be nice to be home and, you know, doing something I loved again, and the pay is not the best, I have to admit. It's only starting out at $13 an hour, which, you know, Southwest started us at the same, and it was livable when I didn't have a lot of expenses, but now I'm playing catch up, so yeah. I hope for someone, you know, I hope that, you know, the pay gets better, or, you know, I have the opportunity to work full-time, because it's going to be part-time, so not going to be making a whole lot of money. But that's where TSA comes in. I don't honestly think I'll be able to, just because different security clearances, and I don't know if Delta and the TSA are going to want to schedule around each other. But, you know, if I could, I would like to hopefully work full-time and or part-time at Delta, and or well, full part-times at both TSA and or Delta. But yeah, the only difference is now is I'll be working with a variety of aircraft. You know, and we were always told by some of our supervisors or other people who had worked at different airlines that we here at Southwest had it good. We were spoiled. You know, there were a lot of things that people said that if they had done that at their old job, the airline would have nailed them to a cross, and you know, and even in just St. Louis in general, we were spoiled, because I went to Manchester, and remember I was loading bags one morning to Orlando, and I was getting slaughtered down in the T-Point, which I don't want to be there. I didn't want to be in the T-Point, because I hated T-Point. They had me in there, and I was loading a flight. I had all these bags going to Orlando, and I was just trying to get them in the cart, and I apparently had loaded a bag to the wrong destination into that cart, which mistakes happen. You know, unfortunately, that is just a natural part of the job. You know, just mistakes happen, unfortunately. People's luggage gets misplaced. You know, it happened all the time in St. Louis. All the fucking time. Because it was just such a large airport and a lot of things happened. But they had, I had told my supervisor that it happened, and he didn't look too incredibly pleased with me. I'm like, it is what it is, you know. So, he pulled me into the office a little bit later that day and wrote me up for it. And at first, I thought he was kind of joking, you know, and I kind of chuckled. And he's like, well, what's so funny? I'm like, oh, you're serious? And he's like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I be serious? I'm like, well, I know this is a different airport, and different airport means different situations, but in St. Louis, you know, we missed bags all the time, unfortunately, just by the nature of our size, and, you know, unfortunately, it's like, you know, no one ever got written up for it. He's like, well, what's going to happen when that person gets to where they're going and they don't have their stuff? I'm like, well, then we, you know, apologize to them and offer them a voucher for this, that, and whatnot, or we try to make it up to them in whatever way we can, and then when the next flight leaves, we put their stuff on that flight. Well, yeah, now they got to come back to the airport. I'm like, I understand that, and it's an inconvenience. It's not fun, you know. It's happened to me before. I hated it, but I got my stuff back, and it was cool. You know, that was just what we did in St. Louis. You know, we realized that things happen. We put it on the next flight. Now, if we had missed a ton of bags, then yeah. You know, it was what it was, but, you know, and he said, well, we don't do that here. If you write it up, we're going to have to reprimand you more, because, you know, that's not fair to the passenger that they have to miss their luggage. And, you know, he kind of went on for this long rant and stuff like that about Southwest and Manchester being station of the year and whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, I perfectly get that. Like, and Manchester always kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because they had won Station of the Year a few times, and they were very kind of hoity-toity. Like, I think management was very hoity-toity about it because, well, you know, it just meant that they were the best in the entire Southwest system. And I get with excellence comes, you know, a certain, you know, standard that you hold your people to. But then I think there's being a little too much. And I think, you know, like I said, I get it. Someone's luggage got misplaced. You know, there was a sea of bags coming down, going to Orlando, and I accidentally loaded a bag going to Baltimore. But then we look at the guy who had the Baltimore flight. Why didn't he grab the bag? Or how come he didn't notice the bag? You know, he was also helping me load my stuff. So how come, you know, when he was loading my stuff, do you think that maybe at some point he could have loaded it into my thing, you know, my cart? Well, no, you know, he's been here for X amount of years, and, you know, it's not possible because, you know, he knows better. He's only been written up once for that matter, and he knows what happens if he gets written up again. I'm like, so you're just assuming that he, you know, and it went on like that for a little bit, and then finally I said, all right, you know what, I obviously accept that what happened was what happened. Like I said, I do feel bad that the guy or woman or whomever does not have their luggage anymore, because now they're going to have to get to Baltimore and wait. It's the first flight of the day, and I know that Manchester has 3 or 4 more flights to Baltimore, so I know that that person is going to get their stuff, because we're going to place it on the next aircraft. But it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I felt, you know, I had realized, you know, the difference between St. Louis and Manchester was kind of starting to really come out. Like, management in St. Louis, like, you know, if I had, and it happened once, there was a cart that was tucked off behind my gate, up against the building. It rained and stuff like that, and it wasn't a cart I was using at all, but it was in my gate area. and someone had placed some bags into it and then closed the curtains. Now, I don't know why they would have thought to use that cart to drop the bags in for a connecting flight, because again, it wasn't one of the carts I had already set up, and the carts that I had already set up, because they were 3 in a string, with the curtains open, were facing my gate, and again, they weren't full. So I never thought to check the carts way at the back against the building for bags when I was missing like 9 bags. Because, you know, the plane's getting ready to go, I'm missing 9 bags. I'm like, well, shit, you know. So I got my supervisor involved, and we combed everywhere. We took a 20-minute delay, and finally operations said, we gotta go. Like, you know, unfortunately, we gotta go. And, you know, I said, all right, fine. You know, my supervisor noted that we were missing 9 bags, and he was going everywhere. So finally, we pushed the plane out, and I was heading back to the break room. And I was walking with my supervisor, and we walked past that cart that was up against the building, or the terminal. And something had caught our eye. And we walked back to that cart, because we both stopped, and we looked at each other, and like, you know, it was one of those moments like, you know, he looked at me, I looked at him, we both just kind of knew what we were like, did we just see that? You know, and so we walk over that cart and rip open the door, or the curtains, and there's the bags we were looking for. And of course, he's already like, why the fuck are they over here? And I'm just like, are you, like, you know, why, who did this? You know, so we found the bag runner from the flight that ran those bags, and we're like, why did you put him here? And he's like, oh, well, it was a cart, and it was up against the gate, and I didn't know if it was, you know, gonna be, you know, I didn't want him to get wet. And it's like, it's not raining anymore. The skies are clear. It's not supposed to rain. You know, and even if it was going to rain, how come you didn't put it in the cart that already has bags for Wichita in it? Or wherever the plane was going, maybe in Omaha, or some small city like that. But just point being, for example, you know, why didn't you put the bags that you had in the carts that already had bags going to that same destination? And he just kind of like, oh, gave you the, I don't know. And it's like, it's because you didn't think. No, you didn't think about, you know, these things. And, you know, because of your actions, now we missed 9 bags because we were searching and searching and searching and searching. And, you know, unfortunately, we fucked up because we didn't think to check over there. But at the same point, you know, why would I have thought to check over there? Because, you know, and I'm like, I'm trying to explain to him, like, you see, you know, where my logic is coming from? He's like, well, not really, but sure. And I'm like, okay, arguing with stupidity here. So we had to tell management, and my supervisor was nervous, and we told management. They wrote us both up for it. Just because they're like, well, you need to be checking all your bags. And we had a new manager too, and he was kind of a dick. And, you know, I didn't really care for him. He wrote me up for a couple of things that were kind of outside my control. Like there was another time, because I was often a load agent or gate lead, so I would work the gate, and I would, you know, marshal the aircraft, and then when the planes would get loaded up, I would be the one who would count the bags going onto the aircraft, and I would feed them up the belt to the guy inside the plane working. And so I was at the end of the loading process. I would then go upstairs to the gate where the people, you know, you board through, and I would, with the ops agent, would do the weight and balance of the aircraft, or I'd give her the bags that I loaded into the plane. I would tell her on this thing called a CBLS. That this is where I loaded the bags. This is how many bags I loaded. Hey, Topes. Now you know you're looking for attention, buddy. And she'd punch, or he or she would punch that in the computer, and then do the weight and balance, and then we'd close up the flight and leave. So, I went upstairs once, and there was a lot of discrepancies to the point where it was starting to really affect the weight and balance because the ops agents weren't paying attention and the ramp agents weren't catching the mistakes. Because we drop off, because we put the paperwork in the tube and then send it upstairs. So I would never have to go upstairs. You know, I stay in my ramp, and then, you know, I send the paperwork to them via a tube that gets, that's in the jetway. And so that was that. So there was no, you know, interaction between departments. But either the handwriting would be bad, they wouldn't verify with us what it actually was, or they would just misread a number and enter the value incorrectly. So the planes sometimes were going out massively incorrect, which is a big problem when you're doing weight and balance. So Southwest's idea to correct this was to do what they called a face-to-face. So at the end of my loading process, I would go upstairs with the ops agent, and I would stand there with them and go over the paperwork, so I could, be there if they had any questions. Well, apparently there was a flight where we were in a hurry, and I had given the paperwork to them, and they had punched in the numbers, and if I'm recalling the process correctly, because I remember the flight was going to Vegas, because that was who caught the mistake, was Vegas. So the plane had like 36 bags up front, and I think like 50 in the back, in the rear, in the aft bin. And I never caught it because I think I had some late bags show up, and I was verifying, because the thing was, I wasn't supposed to go upstairs, so I verified all bags. Some late bags from T-Point showed up, and my supervisor was showing me, he was like, I got a couple more bags. I'm like, all right, can I just hold them up so I can physically see that you have X amount of bags? He held up 1, 2, 3, and then he threw them into the back of the aircraft because they were still loading, or they were just buttoning up and stuff like that. I said, just put them in the back because it's still open. He's like, all right. And so I told the ops agent, all right, we just added 3 or 4 more bags to the back of the aircraft. I made the correction on the paperwork, and I said, are you, and they said, all right, we're good. I'm like, are you sure? Yep, we're good. Let's get out of here. I'm like, all right, cool. Go downstairs. Well, apparently she input the value of the bags up front incorrectly, and I never caught it. Because, we're in a hurry. So the plane left with her reporting that there were only 6 bags in the front and 53 in the back. So they trimmed for that, which is a bit of a mistake, and I should have caught it, but, it was what it was. Because at that time, we were only told to go upstairs and be present for when they were inputting the numbers. And if there was any questions they were to ask. I didn't know I had to physically hold their hand while they went through this whole process. Because apparently that's what was going on here. Was that we had to basically hold their hands while they did their job. So the plane went out. Vegas kind of thought it was kind of sus that this, pretty heavy flight to their station only had 6 bags in the front of the aircraft. So they audited the flight and found, when they counted the bags coming out of the plane, they noted that there was not indeed 6 bags, there was 36 bags. So they told St. Louis. So St. Louis pulled my paperwork, pulled me in the office, and wrote me up for it. And I said, and I asked them, all right, so you're disciplining me, and that's fine. But I'm going to ask you right here, right now, what is going to happen to the ops agent? They said, well, we spoke with them, but we determined that you didn't do your half of the responsibility of the face-to-face, that they input a value incorrectly and you didn't catch it. I'm like, all right, so you mean to tell me that here on my writing, what does this number right here say? And the senator goes, that's not important. I said, no, I'm asking what number is here in the forward part, in the forward compartment of the aircraft, in the Charlie section of the forward bin. What number is that? 36. Okay. In Delta, in the aft cargo bin, what number is that? 53. Plus, what's in Echo? 0. Okay, what's in Foxtrot? 6 pounds of cargo. All right. And then that number that I scratched out there that you can clearly see that I put a line through it, that number 53, what number is below it? 56. Okay. So you can clearly see that that's a 36. Yes. So how come that was only entered as a 6? Is the keyboard sticky? Did the ops agent clearly miss the number 3 and only hit the number 6? How come she didn't notice that, oh hey, that's a 2-digit number on his paperwork, I only entered it as 1 digit? Because you guys instructed us that during the face-to-face we are to go upstairs and just be present if there's any discrepancies on the paperwork. you did not inform us that I am to now watch over this person and basically make sure they're doing their job. Well, that's kind of the whole point of face-to-face, you know, is that, you know, yes, you are correct that you now have to go upstairs and basically make sure that they're doing their job. Okay, so if I'm now doing my job, and I'm going upstairs to certify that somebody else is doing their job, don't you think I should have a pay increase? Well, no, that's kind of outside the contract. Okay, then. So now I'm doing the job of the supervisor of operations. I'm now doing somebody else's job. I'm also doing the ops agent's job of certifying that they input the correct value. I respect the ops agents. I have a lot of friends who are still ops agents. Their job is not very easy. They do have a very stressful job, I will admit that all day. They have to deal with all the people going on the aircraft, they have to deal with the flight attendants, the pilots. They are in charge of what's going on upstairs. I'm, as a gate lead, am in charge of the aircraft downstairs. I mean, I'm not in charge of it, I do have, you know, and they also have management, but, you know, as who we are as people, you know, my job as a gate lead, you know, I load my gate. I'm in charge of that aircraft. When I sign that document, I legally certified, legally, to the FAA that there was no discrepancies with the loading of this aircraft, and also on my final walk around, I was also certifying that there was no mechanical issues, you know, plain, you know, very observant to me with this aircraft, and this aircraft is safe to fly. You know, you know, that's what we're certifying. So yes, the ops agent's job is not very easy, but why is it now that I have to go upstairs and make sure that the ops is doing their job? Why is it I'm doing that now? But not only am I making sure that that's going on, but I'm also doing it for the same amount of pay that I'm, you know, making right now. You know, to me, that doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, if you want to assure that they're doing their job, then make their supervisor come over. Or, specific, you know, if you want to play that game, and we can play that game, then specifically put in the new way we're doing things that we have to physically verify the numbers with them on their computer screen to make sure that they input the correct value. Because now it's more or less coming down to a fact of they're too incompetent to do their performed functions, and now you have to have someone else come in from another department to verify that they competently typed in a value that you wrote down on a piece of paper. So instead of having them do that, why don't you let us do that? Now I think it's gotten to the point where we scan the bags and we just directly send the numbers to them. Because they gave us bag scanners after a while, so we can positively track and identify bags and stuff like that. But it was just this whole big thing, and you know, I know it kind of resulted in a long-winded rant, but it was this, you know, long-winded thing, and it pissed me off that, you know, I was doing everything they told me to do, and at the end of the day, I still got written up for it. You know, it pissed me off. I don't like getting written up. I understand that things do happen, and it's not a huge deal to get written up. I still don't like it though. You know, because those things can follow you. Where should a parking garage go here? Probably not. Yeah, now I get to play parking lot. So now we get to see how big a parking lot is with Crown Vics. Actually, I'll just do the taxi. Do the taxi as well. But it ticked me off, you know, and like I said, loved my job, loved it dearly. There were certain aspects that drove me absolutely bonkers, and that was one section, was obviously management. Because it seemed like every time we turned around, there was always some new way that someone who was basically attempting to justify their job was coming up with. It was like, you know, we'd do these, what am I trying to say here? We do the procedure the exact same way every single day for 8.5 hours, and then we go home. And then some dude, hey Mal, And then some dude who sits in an office all day, who has never done my job, is now deciding, oh, nope, we're going to do procedures this way now. We are working on a shopping center over here in the southwestern end of Trondheim. Yes, General Manager Joe, I'm building a massive-ass parking lot, a lot bigger than I intended. Then I'm going to put some like restaurants in right here. And then some fast food restaurants probably along this avenue. And then I got to fill this avenue in with stuff. Probably like maybe, I don't know. Though this town is very European inspired, I'm kind of making a very kind of Americanized or North Americanized kind of shopping plaza. A little bit more modern and stuff like that. So, just in a place where they had room and needed stores. So, it's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm also bitching about Southwest. Anyways, yeah, so this guy who sharpens pencils all day is now trying to tell me how I could do my job better, though he has never worked my job before. And he'd always hear that on the Southwest pages when a new procedure would come out. And, people down in Dallas that worked in HR would always be like, we're excited to have the ramp do this new procedure because we believe that it is going to save more time and be more effective and cost efficient and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden all the rampers hop on like, have you ever done our job before? Have you ever come out on the ramp and worked the line and done anything like that? And of course then I'm like, well, we understand that that's a lot of the thought process behind this, but we do feel that it is best for you guys. We're only doing this with you guys in mind. And it's like, I beg to differ. I actually really beg to differ. I don't think any of you were doing this with us in mind. Because if you were, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. But here we be. I'm just building the city now, and actually the tracks are right here. I'm just building a city, so I'm just, going ham on the areas because I just want to. I'm just pushing the limits because I can, is basically all I'm doing here. And yeah, you killed my vibe. But it always pissed me off when some HR guy would sit there and stare at numbers all day and somehow determine that we needed to do it this way because he felt it would, save us time. When in all reality, a lot of the procedures that they would make us do would take more time. It would take a lot more time. They were wanting to increase turnaround times in the aircraft and possibly, schedule more flights. It's like, all right, that's cool. But if you want to do that, then let me go back to the old way. Well, no, Dallas wants you to do it this way. Okay, then we can't schedule more flights on a single gate because that's just not possibly going to work. That's not how this is going to work because, if you want us to do it that way, then I really don't know what to tell you, Chief. Like, it just ain't gonna happen. And it was always a big thing. It just always pissed me off. Come on. Am I just being autistic for a second, or what the hell's going on here? I am being autistic for a second. Yeah, we're just building the build now, so either enjoy it or go somewhere else. So, I mean, who's really gonna see most of the shit I'm doing in here anyways? You know, like, this intersection that sits way over here, nowhere near the tracks at all. Like, yeah, there's tracks over there, and there's tracks over there, but I'm just building my route. I'm basically doing downtown module, but if no one was ever intended to use it. And plus I'm bored and I gotta work out soon, and yeah. How wide is this? So the front and back bumpers should be able to be in the space. Tell you what, tonight I'll start installing it, although probably when I go to bed, because I gotta run a few things anyways while I'm asleep, so. I hope Joe's proud of this parking lot. Alright. Only because I don't want to lay the whole damn thing. Nope, wait, that's, yep. Incorrect. Why can't I put anything here? Oh. What? do no work. Or just put like a pathway. Something in the middle with lights. I can't tuck up against that. Huh. Very odd. I'll figure out what to do there in the middle. Probably, hey, Dopes, you're a cat. What a guy. What a guy. Get over here. Get over here, be a cat. Oh. Yeah, it's trains grids being trains grids. Oh, look at this cat. Wait, can't. Alright, think of this cat. Oh. What a kitty. Come here. Alright, so I'm gonna delete that part. As for these ones, I'll probably just do like a big walkway or something. I haven't a clue. I'll do something. So Mal, how was your day? Seems like you caught some trains today. Saw a Pan Am boxcar that was going a lot faster than 6. Ugh. Ah, sushi. Fuck. Yep, does need a seafood restaurant. Hey, Tobes. Oh. Olive Garden ever download? That button. couldn't figure it out. It's, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, see, when you said you hit the wrong button, Mal, I had assumed you meant deleting the little market that I had plopped down. Not the fact that I had, made the stream cease to exist. So yeah, so we're still going. We're still doing stuff over here, apparently. Maybe be a little more blunt with which button I hit there. Yeah. Because I had just deleted the building, and then a few minutes later, Mal's like, or a few moments later, Mal goes, I think you hit the wrong button. It's like, no, I meant to delete that. I just didn't want it there. Nice asset, just didn't really want it there. And I keep going, just happily going about my time, and yeah. Well, anyways, the rest is history. So. Yeah, Olive Garden's downloading. Well, hi, welcome back, everyone. So, that is a fine asset. Listen, it happens to the best of us, all right, Mal? Just $10. Oh, it does! It lights up! It freaking lights up! Where's the sign? Ah! Neon! I love it! Ah! Rock! I love it. I love that. Fuck it, we're putting the Applebee's over here. Aldi, you get the fuck out of here. Listen, it happens, okay? I don't even know if you heard me, Mal, but I was talking about installing your route tonight. Just letting it download, because I have a few other things to install and download, but keep it up, and I don't know, I might just forget. Although you're like a kind of guy, you wouldn't care, so. Probably should have the sign on the main road. I freaking love that. Ah, that's beautiful. I can also turn this off. Let's see. Fuck off, alright? Christ. You screw up once, they nail you to a fucking cross. Christ on a stick. Oh, we should actually put this down by the Aldi. Mal, I'm gonna cunt punt you. Fucking just gone. What else does this area need? I actually feel like the Aldi should be closer to the actual road. Could put like a couple automotive places in back there. Like, this is where Dave Snow assets come in handy. It's all the businesses that he has built. Yeah, starting to look like something. Starting to look like something. Alright. Bro, you do it all the time. Main week! At least I don't talk about Delaware. Here's something I've never done before. Can these things curve? Oof. I mean, they can. It just looks like ass, but I guess we'll go with it. And you're just jealous because I'm patriotic of my state, so fuck off. Just like where I live. At least I don't talk about, you know, the railroads of this place all the time. Oh yeah, so one thing that I discussed with, or mentioned to Joe today is, so for those in the Approach Medium server, we're going to be doing the role review on April 1st. Predominantly this time I'm going to be focusing, Christ on a Stick sounds like what you do when you find the source of the hell is real signs. There's the... But, so we're primarily this time focusing on the lower tiers, because I don't think any of the other mods had the time to kind of help me. I really don't like this restaurant. Yeah, I really don't like this restaurant. Fuck off. Yeah, I just don't think any of the other mods had time to help out with the lower tiers. So a lot of the lower tiers didn't get the chance to move up between Coach or Lounge. And I don't think we really looked and see if anyone needed to be bumped down. As, you know, we're trying to promote maturity all around. But the big thing is that this time we're going to be kind of taking a look at the Patreons. The people who have come in and kind of bypassed moving up through the server, kind of how everyone else did. We're going to be kind of really focusing on taking a look at them and seeing if any of those guys, because we're basically going to be limiting those roles to the Patreon channel. So when you get when you get the fucking words, the Patreon role, when you buy it, when you get to that tier, it doesn't automatically give you free access to the server, and we kind of already did that with Parlor Car, because I think it was important for those who wished not to pay to have the right to go somewhere quiet and hang out and not be disturbed, because just because you have money doesn't mean you're automatically mature. And I think we've already well established that. But the other problem is the other roles. And I think that there are some Patreons that possibly did kind of hang out not necessarily mature, but they were given that role uh, just because. And I think that they need to, have the opportunity to just go through the server. And I think it would be fair to everyone to be able to gain access to the rest of the server the way everyone else did, regardless if you paid or not. Because I think it yeah, it kind of helps. I mean, there's no real perk and stuff like that. You don't really lose access to a lot, but I think it's only out of fairness to the people who didn't pay to have to, they didn't pay. They got to, wait their time, wait for the mods to eventually go, oh, hey, they're pretty active, and promote them to the next level up. But I think it's only fair. Just because you paid doesn't automatically mean you're the most mature person around. And just because you're in Patreon doesn't mean you're susceptible to being bumped down and losing access to things. You didn't pay to gain access to the whole server, you paid to gain access to, a specific channel where Joe does streams. Because I hate that argument that often gets thrown around. Well, I paid to have access to the whole server. No, you paid to have access to Joe. If you want to have access to the whole server, you still got to be here. So this role review, we will be kind of taking a look at the Patreons and bumping them down. If we feel that they aren't necessarily the most mature. Oh my god, a Waffle House. Doesn't light up. Light up. Yes! Yes! It lights up. Oh, I kind of want a Waffle House over here now. I don't know. But like I said, I think it's the most fair way of going about things. And I really, 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 really want to try and get the mods to be a little more active. And it is purely of who shows up and stuff like that. But while we have the time and while we have the chance, if I could get maybe one of the mods to help and kind of help me go through and see who's active, who's not, see if they have any thoughts about who's mature and who's not, and kind of go from there. Like just trying to get that going. And we're trying to find ways to make the server active again, because it's only active at very specific times of the day. Why is this? It seems that most people kind of agree that it's kind of a case of certain people have access to the server at times that aren't great in other people's opinions, and other people were hanging out in some of the lower tier calls, or in the lower tier chats, and the people who have paid to gain access to the server kind of have come into those lower tier chats and have kind of more or less just kind of made it kind of annoying. And I think it should be important to promote maturity all across. If you want to be immature, fine, go hang out and coach. But there's got to be a way to kind of drum up, people in the server again, because it's been quiet. It's not like it was when we first kind of got going with this whole pandemic. And also, that's just kind of a sign that the world is kind of opening back up too again. Like, things are getting back to the normal and whatever. It's not like it was, which is a good sign. But I think there's a way to still make the server kind of active. You know, maybe there needs to be, you know, I don't know if there's just not enough hangouts for people, because the problem is, you know, maybe some people feel that there's too many people in one call, and the problem is I'm noting that when people start to migrate down to 1%, like the quiet room and stuff like that, you know, or not just the 1% quiet room, but when people go from the main call to the quiet room because there's a lot going on in the main call, the people from the main call start to move down into the quiet room, and then all of a sudden it defeated the purpose of having the quiet room, and it just didn't really solve the problem. You know, if people break off to go to the quiet room, you know, it's kind of meant for a bit more of an intimate conversation between people. People do have the right to request that, you know, they need to use this room for whatever, you know, they so wish, especially if they're trying to, you know, talk about something or share something trains related and stuff like that, and people they're trying to just, I wouldn't say get away from, but might be a little more noisier. You know, they're just trying to get out into the quiet room. I just have noted that, and you know, I'm just again coming up with ideas in my head of how can this be fixed. You know, one thing for sure is that the Patreons are going to get reviewed. Okay, and that's fine. People have the right to get mad about when things are set in VC, because not everyone's going to agree with everything set up there. Like I said, the point of this all is that one thing's for sure, and one thing that we've had a problem with in the past is, you know, the people of the Patreon. And there's nothing wrong with Patreon. Patreon's a great thing, and the Wednesday night calls are truly wonderful. But the thing is that, you know, people might not have the money, they might not want to pay, but they like the community. Alright, well, that's cool. Why should they have to put up with paid tiers coming in and gaining access to all these channels when they've only been, you know, these people who didn't pay have been here for a few years, and the people who paid have been here for a day or a week. So that's something we're going to be looking at, and possibly, you know, if you join through Patreon, or if you kind of got into these higher tiers because of Patreon solely, maybe going ahead and seeing, you know, you doing it the fair way, because there's a lot of that coming into question of it's not fair. You know, I didn't have the money to pay because of X, Y, and Z, or my parents wouldn't let me, but I'm a mature member and I rose up, and you know, my call in lounge got ruined because some kid in Patreon got in. You know, we did it for Parlor, you know, we're gonna do it for the rest of the server. So originally we were just gonna say, alright, anyone on Patreon, fuck it, you gotta go back to coach, but you know, there's not a ton of Patreons, so I'm sure it's fairly easy to go back and kind of look around and be like, alright, you know, we you know, we know who's who, and we know who's been here for a little bit. We can kind of go in and take a look and such. So but that's kind of what's going to be happening here, and I, you know, full-heartedly support this idea. It is, I think it was more Sean's idea than anything, but I do inherently support it, because Sean doesn't say anything unless, you know, it needs to be brought up, you know, and I know he's not just saying this because he can. He's saying this because he feels, you know, this is truly something that's a problem, and, you know, we should fix it. So that's what we're gonna do. And if people don't like it, well, I'm sorry, you know, and I hope that it doesn't negatively reflect on Joe. I hope that people don't choose to take it out on Joe, the ones who are paying. You know, we've had the blessing of Joe, but, you know, this could easily backfire on us, and, you know, we could have to revert back and start opening the server up to the paid tiers, which, you know, I hope isn't the case. You know, I hope that, you know, it's like if people get pissed off, it's like, you know, they have to understand they paid. You guys got your chat, but you know, these people didn't. They don't. This is their only place to go. They don't get to run away on Wednesday nights and go hang out and wait for Joe and you know. So it'll be. I'm curious to see how this will go. Firestone, Americas. This is Kaldvann. So I'm very curious to see how this will go. But I'm thinking it probably won't cause too much of a stir, and you know, it'll come into effect, and you know, nothing will be said about it. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, I need to at least put out that the role review is happening, and you know, the people who are actually. Is there anyone left in Vestibule other than Butter? Because he's Butter. Let's see, members. Let me go to server settings. Vestibule. There's no one left in Vestibule, so I never do that. Let's see. Anyways, so like I said, those are my thoughts. You know, I don't think there's going to be any issues. You know, the server's pretty tame on most days. Even the stuff that does pop up that's a little annoying is usually pretty fine. Like, I think the server's starting to get to a point where it's kind of taking care of itself. You know, people are starting to get it into their heads that, you know, oh, when something goes wrong, we just get the mods. And it's like, yes, yes, keep doing that. Yes. Beautiful. What am I looking for? I was looking for that lightning loop place. I swear it was something else I was looking for. Alright, what am I gonna put over here? So I got the restaurant. I think I'll move Kyoto over to here. Kyoto. We're open one day a week from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Please don't come in. We don't want to work. I think the server is starting to get to a point where it's starting to be able to take care of itself, and things that don't need to go on are kind of eating themselves out. So, you know, and I think that's wonderful that it's starting to get to that point now. And still requires some actual moderation and whatnot, as that's just the nature of the game. But yeah, the server has been quiet, and like I said, I think that's just inherently because people are going back to work and back to school, and actually have things to do now, or are just adapting to this way of life, and still have things to do, but or are finding things to do within the guidelines of COVID. And we're kind of starting to approach an end, or we're starting to find a way out of it all. Still got a long way to go, but point being is I think as time pushes on, yeah, the server might not be as active as it once was, because everyone's going to be back to doing whatever it is they're doing, or living their lives in some way, shape, or form. Let's see. See if we can find another automotive place. No. Wait, where's that Olive Garden? So what hey Jaden, how's in the world are I'm doing pretty good. I downloaded this Olive Garden only to discover that I think it's just an Applebee's. I think I was duped. Because if I I already downloaded this asset and deleted it because yeah, it but pretty good. Just bitching about life at this point. What am I missing? Olive Garden. So I don't like that seafood restaurant, so we're gonna delete that too. No Texas Roadhouse, no Buffalo Wild Wings, no Red Robins. Just no assets and trains, I tell ya. But I'm pretty good, needless to say. How are you doing today? some steak and shake right now. I'm just gonna drag this up the way so I can at least have this. Not all of us can be Joe with his fancy assets. His fancy ass assets. Durr. Get this all properly figured out. Ah, wicked. Congrats on finishing the well cars. Hey, J-Pen. Ugh, quiz. No thanks. Yeah, just slowly trying to get this shopping area pieced together, because I got burnt out with every other side of the city, because we can load in. It's like I got all this urban sprawl, and it's nice. It's very nice. Got all this crap in here, and then we come across the way, and now I'm getting more crap over here. But this will be it for large city. Everything else is going to start tapering down to small buildings and residential complex and whatnot. So start tapering away into forest and going from there. So, although one thing that I'm proud of, if I can show it again, is the offset approach for the airport. So obviously with the big buildings, you can't have planes fly straight into the runway. So I got these lights, which normally like one would flash and it would go really quickly and stuff like that, but limitation of trains. So I think it was something pretty neat that they did. So it's an offset approach for the runway, and it's the little airport over here. Complete waste of time, honestly, but it was worth it to me. I also wish like the lights would flash at different intervals, but it is what it is. But yeah, got bored with building all that. I still gotta build this area. And then I gotta do homes over here and small apartment buildings over here. You do have an IKEA, right? Yeah, kind of a shitty looking one, but it's an IKEA. I wish it was better. So I had to I had this weird area out back that I had to kind of slap this IKEA onto, and fortunately, text is in Russian, so I guess this is the Russian-specific entrance, but yeah, the area back here was kind of a little weird, and I think it sat kind of... yeah, this area right here. I had to it was on a different level, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I just slapped the other IKEA into it. Honestly, I could probably I'll probably do something with that. I'll delete the other IKEA. I could probably move this IKEA, because I don't really think there's any need for it to be over here in particular. City Skylines. I'm sorry, trains. I don't know what the fuck I'm playing anymore. It feels like I'm playing City Skylines. It's probably what I'm using this for. I think next time I'm gonna start building some smaller towns, because like there was nothing more fun than building this itty bitty little town way out here in the sticks. Like this was nice, and I want to build more. Like I have a town out there, Alvenfjord, that I'm building. That's right. I need to put pavement in this parking lot, or this. But yeah, so probably next time I'll start building another small town, because I got a small town right here that I was starting to build with an Aldi. But I've been stuck building this large city, and I'm kind of starting to get burnt out on building in the city. I don't know if Logan ever released that. I'd have to ask. I want to say it remained private. He also built a bananas too, which I'm toying with throwing it over here. Actually, I wonder how much it'd be to throw that IKEA in over there. Looks like I like the IKEA over there, but like, what the fuck was in it? Oh, there's a whole ass another building in it. No shit. What the hell are you? Tomb. I don't know what you sell. What do you do? That's a grocery store. Oh. What the hell are you doing inside an IKEA? Huh. I wonder how many buildings I have tucked away in other buildings. Oh, that's why I threw... Ah, yes. I remember now. I do remember now why I threw the other IKEA. Well, Logan's watching, so... Now, I've been working on this for 6 months too, fuck off. We're gonna go throw an IKEA. Yeah, I think at some point I'll probably, when I get Downey Strains fully up and running, probably... I think I've already talked to you, Logan, about maybe taking some of your stuff from TBS and that maybe you didn't release or that you did release, and possibly hosting it on my site if you want to, just because it's gonna be a while before I get anything actually up, but that's way off in the future. So if you ever wanted the Best Buy to actually formally be out there, put it in one place. Only if you wanted to. Ah, yes, you're like me when I go, rail fanning. I'm always in the right place at the right time. Also, fun fact about Logan, he does not like IKEA. Only because he can build the furniture himself, so. Yes, let's make a sign for this IKEA building that stares at the hill. This kind of fits in over here. The nice thing is they have parking underneath the building. Yeah, this will work. Whatever I'm going to do back here, I haven't a clue. That's going to be a bitch. I'll figure something out. Hi. I'm out. No, I was in the right place at the right time. Oh, like, look, loading docks. Oh, no shit. I mean, I think most of my, well, some of my furniture's from IKEA. My bed, I had a bureau, but I sold that, and I had a table, but that ended up staying in St. Louis because we didn't have room for it. But yeah, I liked going to IKEA. IKEA was fun to walk around. Everything was a little pricey. Actually, then some of my plates and bowls and the pot and pans that I use are from IKEA, so quite a bit of stuff from IKEA. And my silverware and some glasses, now that I think of it. I mean, I could probably do that. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Right now, I'm more focused on getting the shopping plaza figured out, because I want to throw in that Kroger. Although you can buy food here, and you can buy food here. And you can also get food in here. So, and then you have restaurants. I probably don't need the Kroger then. It's already a Kroger. It's over there-ish. Yeah, it's like over there. Just turn on the rendering distance. Alright, time for chain restaurants, after I figure out how wide the road is. Ah, I did fly past some buses earlier. I ain't lost under no false damn illusion. I just will say 0 out of 10 would not visit IKEA again because there was no tall, you know, Scandinavian women in there. So, which to me is rather upsetting, because if you're trying to, you know, represent a country in Scandinavia, you need to make sure that your stores are fully staffed with representatives from said country, and some representatives from said country should happen to be taller, beautiful women. But there was a large lacking of that, so I was rather upset. Though the furniture was nice. I liked like the little like mock displays of like apartments and stuff like that they had in there. Like, it just spoke to my inner creative side. Well, there's no other buses. There's no other buses that are half decent. That's the problem is like there's nothing really that I can use. Unless, oh, it's Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. Unless, like, you know, Joe were to import some buses, which would be very helpful. Oh, Logan, did you see the intersection I created from last time? On the flyby. The one that's... let me see. Crank that back up. Crank the vibe. Oh, the game is shitting itself. I cranked the vibe too much. Yes, a girl is watching. Yes, welcome back, Kurt. Did this or the last time. It turned out rather nice. Of course, I feel like finished doing everything, but you know, I think this area turned out pretty decent. Some of the intersections that I do. Then I gotta do a big one over here that combines the off-ramp this way and this way. I'll figure out something. That one's gonna be interesting. Well, currently this. Currently I'm building a approach to this intersection. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, hopefully Joe, I mean, looks like he's starting to import more vehicles into the game. Hopefully he can import something like a more modernized city bus, because yeah, I use this older style bus because this is all we got, really. Or at least this is the nicest asset with the doors on this side. We can get something, you know, North American or European, like, I'll be all over it. But until that day comes, I'm kind of stuck using this one because this is, again, the nicest one we have. So... dash lines pretty much here on back. Was I on the, I was on the line. Oh yeah, perfect, so I can just follow this pretty much the whole way back to wherever I need to go. So I'm trying to think, because I think what's going to happen is, so we got the 2 lanes over here. And what I think is going to occur is that one lane is going to be dedicated right turn, and one lane's going to go straight on, or maybe I'll have 2 dedicated right turns. And then this road, pretty much from here on out, is going to be just a 2-lane road, just normal road that goes up and intersects up there. But the main way to get there will be small avenue this way from the intersection. And then that avenue might possibly turn and then go that way. So it'll probably be a 2-lane right turn. You know, where the far right lane to the right, you know, turns right, and the left lane will go straight and right. To keep most of the traffic flowing up this way. To kind of head towards the actual shopping complex. And of course, this is the main way in and out. So, it's all coming together very, very slowly. And yet I should still be working on, you know, Carabasset, but here I be. Also trying to promote the disuse of left turns. Because nothing drives me crazy more than trying to go somewhere. And, you know, you're leaving this busy place, and it's on a busy road, and it's like, you know, left turns are, I wouldn't say impossible, but just about. You know, you really can't make a left turn fairly easily onto, you know, this road that you're trying to, you know, get onto and stuff. So instead of just taking a right turn and, you know, just going up somewhere else and making a left or, you know, a U-turn, people just sit there. It's like, no, just make a right and then just, you know, turn around somewhere, or, you know, or these large shopping complexes, there needs to be, I don't know, just like a U-turn lane or something, like an intersection where there's U-turns permitted. Like at my bank, you know, it's kind of hard to turn left and cut across 4 lanes of traffic onto US Route 1, so you can't turn left out of there, so you turn right, and then no sooner than you turn right, you keep right, and then you get the lane to make the U-turn to go back across. Also for people trying to make left turns and access businesses on the other side of the road anyways. But, like, even on my main street in Saco here, it's like, people will sit and sit and sit and sit and sit and try to make left turns at 5 o'clock, and it's like, take a right, go up a ways, make a left, then left, right. You know, yeah, I know it takes a little longer, but honestly, if people were to go do that, you would actually get to where you need to go quicker because you're not sitting there waiting to make that left, and you also don't hold up traffic. But, again, purely just me. You as well, Caitlin. Enjoy your evening. Have a good week. I'll probably go for just a little bit longer, and then I'm going to get off and go enjoy some of my night. Probably still doing the same thing, but actually what I'll do is I'll get rid of the double. Or actually, I'll put the double back. And I'll just make a wider yellow line. A little wider, but gets the job done. And you know, JR made single lines that match up like that. No, I didn't know that, so I know I have all the lines that they have and whatnot, so. There. Alright. So, probably left, straight, and right. There. I'll put 2 lanes over here. Which would be a pain in the ass because they don't actually match up to any of the grid lines, which sucks because that's what I follow. I need those buses back. Okay. Yep, I'm still going. I'll probably be wrapping up here shortly, though. Yeah, I want to relax a little bit and hang out, because then tomorrow I'm going to be stressing for that interview, so. Which, I mean, I'm sure it'll go fine. I'm sure it'll go pretty well, and I'm a little, I wouldn't say overqualified for the position, but I've already done that position. I've already worked that kind of work before, so I'm sure everything will be fine. Just, I could really use this is all. Alright, there's that. Actually bring that bus back. Oh, hell. Ah! I don't get it. I woke up at 4. That's the other thing, too. I need to go to bed at a decent hour tonight, because my interview is at 1:30 in the afternoon, and I don't normally wake up around that time. Let's see. Tomorrow... Oh, tomorrow's Bane's birthday, too. Shit. That's right, because last year, at this time last year, we were supposed to have the bicentennial. And... I didn't mean to say that. I was only saving for the bicentennial to remind me, but... Yeah, and then Tuesday, the 16th. That's seriously not safe.
Hun sagde hun ville en vinternat. Hun sagde hun ville en vinternat. Sove hos en ridderbræt. Hun sagde hun ville om morgenen. Hun sagde hun ville om morgenen. Stå Lego-mø på torvet. Og kongen havde sønner 5.
It is Tuesday the 16th. But I want to go to bed early tonight so I can try and get my sleep schedule somewhat corralled and figured out. Because, you know, if I've been going to bed super late, or well, early in the morning, like, you know, I've been averaging going to bed about 6 a.m. So around that ballpark. I probably need to be starting to go to bed about... If I go to bed about 3, I can wake up at about 11. I kind of don't think that's going to happen tonight, but if I can go to bed maybe around 4, and then at least work myself back to 3, and or even 2 to give myself enough time, that'd be lovely, but... But yeah, so I don't want to be up, I don't want to be doing this for much longer, because I get that interview on Tuesday, so... Which is weird, because I saved that to my phone, and I did all the little stuff, like set reminders, and I put in the travel time, so it would give me reminders 30 minutes and 50 minutes before my expected travel time. So it's going to be actively looking at traffic, because I do not want to be late for this interview. I did all that, and then I look at the event, it's like, yeah, you just got something at 1:30, you know, on the 16th, and it's like, okay, I know that, but I need to know about traffic, because I don't want to be late. Not that I suspect traffic at 1:30 in the afternoon is going to be a problem, but... And you get all dressed up again, you know, nice shirt, overcoat, jacket, 'cause I think it's supposed to snow Tuesday. I think it's supposed to snow Tuesday. Actually no, 36 and nice. It's supposed to be chilly tomorrow, 25. It's only 21 right now, it feels like 7. It was like freaking 60 the other day. Almost, yeah, it was 60, 65, what it feels like. And today it's 7, what it feels like. Now even my Norwegian friend that we were talking about, she was talking about her weather, sometimes very bipolar. And I joked being the same way. So I was chatting with her the other day about you know, the weather here and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's 60. I obviously have to convert everything to Celsius for her, because, you know, fucking girl can speak very perfect, you know, near perfect English and stuff like that. The least I can do is translate things into her units for her, so she has to think about one less thing. But yeah, it's like, so I'm like, yeah, it's like 60 some odd degrees up here today, and she's like, is your weather broken? I'm like, what? She's like, is your weather just broken? I'm like, no, why? And she's like, but I thought you said the other day it was like -20. I'm like, oh, it was. She's like, and wasn't it snowing the other day? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, what the fuck's wrong with your weather? I'm like, oh, it's just Maine. That place must suck. No, some could say. She thought it was just outrageous that the weather changes like that so much. And I'm like, no, welcome to Maine. It's all the fucking time. I'll make that sign just a little bit shorter. Something like that. They don't need to be so damn tall. Okay, just a little tall. There we go. Okay, well then there's that one, but I think that one gets a pass. Because I like the way it looks at night. Let me check out that IKEA. Did it light up? Nope. Wish it just freaking light up. I wish there was an IKEA building that lit up. I want it to light up. It's so nice. There's nothing cooler than going by the IKEA building in St. Louis and it just be all fucking lit up. Alright, what else do I need over here? Maybe I should move that Steak and Shake over to here. Oh. Fuck off, Mal. You live in Atlanta. Oh, my entire body aches. Christ. I hate to tell it to you, Logan, but this is like the only Steak and Shake in Trondheim, so it's gonna be open forever. Just remember, even though your Steak and Shake's closed, I never had a Steak and Shake up in Maine, so thus making this place truly suck. I don't even think there's a Skyline's chili asset, but I was not a fan of Skyline chili. No offense, Logan, I did try it, and it just wasn't for me. I kind of prefer the chili I cook at home a little better, or a little more. So, probably because I cook it at home and I know how I like my chili. Just wasn't a fan. I have to admit that I always forget the freaking name of it, but the place that Scott took me to up by the rail yard that had the Reubens. Oh my god, though that was awesome. I'd go back to that place in a heartbeat. And actually, when next time I do come to Ohio, I'm going right to that place. Like, loved it. I forget the name of it though. And I feel bad always asking Scott, because I ask him like every time I think about the place, because I never remember the name. Well, they opened a brand new one in Temecula, California. No, I didn't get a 5-way. I can't remember what the hell I got, but I don't know what was... I don't know exactly what's in the chili, and I wouldn't say what's wrong with it. I mean, because obviously, you know, yeah, it's a very Cincinnati thing, as I've been told. But the thing is that I don't know what's so different about it, but I particularly did not care for the taste. Like, to me, it just... it didn't really taste like chili that I've had before. I guess it. I don't know if it was. If maybe I'm getting my chilies mixed up because one of my aunt's friends made chili, and my aunt's not a big chili person, and she didn't want to be rude, so she ended up giving me the chili. But her friend made a very tomato-based chili, and it was very soupy. She made hers very soupy. I don't like my chili to be very soupy. I like my chili to be kind of a thicker. I make chili this way. I brown the beef, and I make a lot of beef. I put a lot of beef in my chili. I drain the beef. I cook some. I put hot. I'm convinced that when I brown the beef and I put hot sauce over the beef when browning it, that the flavor gets into the beef. I drain it, and stuff like that. I'm convinced it changes the beef. It makes it a little spicier. I put the beef in, 2 cans chili beans, 2 cans tomatoes with tamales, 1 can black beans drained. Secret ingredient that adds spice. Sometimes I will do a can of mushrooms. Every now and again, if I'm feeling it, I'll do a can of mushrooms, which I love it with mushrooms. And then I'll go ahead and add. I used to get a chili log in St. Louis. Don't have them here, so I do chili seasoning, like a powder. It's the I forget the brand off the top of my head. It's at my aunt's house now, though, because I bought 2 of them, and I think I forgot to take 1 home. And then boil. Then a little bit of pepper and a little itty bitty amount of salt on top. But tomato-based chili is just the worst, and I can't remember. Yeah, one thing I haven't done with my chili in a long time was add onions, only because I hate crying and stuff like that. My ex's mom didn't do a lot of onions in the chili. They all weren't fans of onions, but in St. Louis, I had cooked onions in my chili once, but the problem was I didn't use the onions for a while, and then they went bad, and it was a nightmare. It attracted ants and stuff, and it was just a pain in the dick, so I just said, nah, fuck it, I'm just gonna stick to the canned goods and whatever's just simple, because the thing that with my chili is, and even just cooking in general, I love cooking, but kind of lazy. I don't like being up on my feet all the time, because I kind of have bad feet, and after a long day of work, at the time when I was working, I was on my feet all day. I didn't want to be on my feet any longer, so I'd always be looking for stuff that was quick and simple. So I would find, and to go ahead and chop up all the onions and stuff like that. I was like, no, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and simplify this process. No more onions, we're just doing the canned stuff. And that also avoids, the shit going bad. So. But just tomato-based chili, it's like, if I wanted to eat tomato soup, I would have gone and got tomato soup, but I didn't. I got chili. I don't want to be eating tomato soup the whole time I'm eating chili. And that's my problem with tomato-based chili, is that it just tastes like tomato soup. That's all it is just tomato soup. And it's just gross. Like, I don't want to eat tomato soup. So it's like but speaking of cooking, I remember I was talking with my cousin, because she just moved out on her own, and she doesn't like to cook. She doesn't want to, she kind of is like me a little bit. She doesn't work though, which is fine. It is what it is. But the thing is like I was telling her, I'm like, yeah, you could do these quick and simple recipes. She's like, Jay, I don't want to be on my feet. I have bad feet. I'm like, all right, and that's fine. I do too. But these are quick and simple recipes that keep you up off your feet. All you gotta, you just gotta brown the beef, and then once you brown the beef, you just gotta drain it, open all the stuff, and hell, you just sit down at the counter and stuff like that, or sit down at your table and get up every few minutes and stir the pot, and you're golden. You don't have to be on your feet the whole time it's cooking, but you know. But I gave her a bunch of recipes that are just quick and simple, you know. But I don't think she's gonna take the offer, but you know. But point is, like, you know, cooking can be very quick and simple. It's just how you so choose to prep for it. I'll probably go for another 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna end it wherever I'm at. But yeah, it's just, you know, trying to help out some people and trying to explain to them. It's like, yeah, you know, cooking can suck because, you know, sometimes you look at it and it's like, all right, well, I got this, that, and this, but, you know, I don't want to be standing all this time, and, you know, I'm just tired from work. And it's like, and that's what I do, is either I cook something quick and simple that I can make a lot of, you know, like, I would get this giant-ass log of beef when I lived in St. Louis, and I'd use half of it for chili, which would last me sometimes upwards of over a week, depending on how much I made. And then I'd wait a little while, and then at some point I'd do taco night. So I'd just buy cans of like tomatoes, and I'd get like a small head of lettuce and stuff like that, or I'd go get like a bag of lettuce from the store. I'd cheese, you know, I'd already have the cheese and sour cream. You know, I'd have a can of olives, I'd have a couple extra cans of tomatoes and with tamales and stuff. You know, I just need to get a can of, I need to get a seasoning packet for tacos. Brown the beef with the taco seasoning, and there you go. And then get a giant tortilla and hot sauce, and there you go. There's supper. And again, the prep time for tacos, you know, and I wouldn't do anything with tortillas. My ex's mom, she'd fry up the tortillas, which were good, but you know, I kind of like my tortilla to be a little more flexible and not crunchy. Just me though. But I told my cousin, I'm like, listen, you know, tacos, they don't take long. Tacos can actually take a little, are actually quicker than cooking chili. The difference with tacos is once you cook the beef, you're done. You're done. Everything else, you just gotta open the cans and that's it. And the thing is, you know, you can have so much ingredients. Yeah, Logan? Yeah, I probably should start a cooking channel, shouldn't I? Alright, Logan, I'll start a cooking channel. You can be my first guest. Alright, I'll start a cooking channel. Basically, it'd just be, the things you can do with a very large amount of beef. Because it's all my cooking channel would be. That and, fried egg and spam and cheese sandwiches. Oh. I really should start a cooking channel. Just, you know, record simple things. You know, quick and easy things that you can do. Huh. Cook some steaks on the grill. I'll think about it. And if I somehow make any revenue off it, if I make such a good cooking channel and I become big and famous, I'll split the profits with you, Logan. Binging with Boudreaux. Yes. Binging with Boudreaux. Either that, I can call it supper as supper. Or what's for supper. There we go, what's for supper. I mean, Binging with Boudreaux was good, but That's clearly a knockoff of, you know, Binging with Babish. I pride myself with being original every now and again. Looks at the fact that Carabassa paint scheme is just knockoff CMQ paint. But also laughs because CVVR outlasted CMQ. I'm gonna move that onto the main road. I'm not concerned with the algorithm. Like, I would just like to make videos and stuff like that, and that's why I live stream. I just, you know, like making content. I like just chatting and showing my work and whatever, and if people watch it, cool, and if people don't, cool. I don't lose no sleep over it. You can't have a monopoly on the entire market. It's simply not an American way. It's not the American way. What, this right here? Oh, I know what I'm missing. Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. I need people to push this back from the road more. Alright, so I got Steak Shake, Arby's, DQ, Taco Bell. Where's that KFC? There's that KFC. Oh shit, that's right, this road. This road's gonna be right about her. So yeah, Taco Bell will be the end of that. I don't think I put any of the restaurants along this road. So I love this KFC sign. Like, watch this. I love this KFC sign. Love it. Love it. little slice of Americana. Except IKEA. Oh, the Best Buy does light up. Or should I just do Taco Hell? Because, I mean, superiorly, it is the better building. I hated making those, because I worked at Taco Bell for, like, a brief moment. Those fucking sucked to make. I hated making those. I'll just use the regular Taco Bell sign. Well, it looked like it was lit up. So if you look at it, it's bright. Kind of like the windows and that on Walmart. Did you make a Best Buy sign? I don't think I have that. Yeah, I don't have the Best Buy sign. I have that Best Buy sign, but I don't think you made that. Unless you did. But I don't think you did. It doesn't look like one of yours. But I know, like, the Octon station that I made, the sign has a... kind of stays bright. Oh, you meant... yeah, never mind. Well, it lights up, so... I don't know how Joe does all this shit. Christ. That probably helps when he has an income, but... oh. He made a Best Buy for the sign. Well, I mean, you know. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Trying to think. I'll have to divide all this up and whatnot, probably with these medians. Place some trees in between it all with parking and whatever. There could probably be a grassy area in between here and the DQ and whatnot. That'll probably just be like some small, like, I'll probably place like buildings like this along the small road right here, which I'll probably just drag that out real quick just to get that made up. Like I said, it's gonna be about a 2-lane road. It'll open up down here for the intersection. Just gonna put a little bit more pavement than I actually need. bottom is right here. Probably need to move that gas station up some. Probably be about right here-ish. The road will go this way. I wonder what Bob Ross would have been like if he played trains. It's a happy little road over here. Remember, there's no mistakes, just, you know, errors of the game, because it's a feature. Builds this really beautiful scene, forgets to save, and then all of a sudden the sim crashes, didn't auto-save what he did. You hear Bob Ross swear for the first time. I know what I'm forgetting. Forgot a donks. Used to be a donks. Where should I place this dunks? I might place it in here. I don't know. I don't know. Where am I going to place this dunks? Where am I going to put this Dunkin' Donuts? Where will I put the dunks? I still need the fucking buses. Get over here. Hey, it's Sean. Sean, where do I put a fucking dunks? Because I'm putting it. I want to put it over here, but I don't want to put it over there because that's the entrance to the mall. Wow, Logan. Where should this fucking dunks go? Because it's like this road's gonna come out to about here-ish. What? What are we waiting on, Sean? Yep, IKEA is right there. Sean, go check general in the LTG server. And alright, well, I'm about to finish up and go jump into VC if we all want to meet there. So, yeah, I could put the dunk. Oh, I could put the dunks right there. Oh, dunks go right here. Probably. This is the drive-through side. This is the order board side. Yeah, we'll probably have it face make the shit around it. As for the sign, I'll probably put the sign, like, right here. We'll just do it like Boston. I'll put a dunks here and a dunks there. Actually, you know what? I'll just put dunks up on the sign right here, because I get to skin this later. Because I need to put, well, IKEA, you can clearly tell that's IKEA. I need to put Walmart, Best Buy, Dunks, some of the bigger stores that would be in here. Probably just leave GameStop, because fuck it. Thing is, yeah, I don't want to drag out the fast food shit any further, because I want to have, like, a couple just regular buildings right here. Oh, it is 314. Oh, beware the eyes of Arch tomorrow. I have no pie. About to have chili though, so I mean. But I'm pretty sure the sour cream that I have for my chili is bad, because I had my chili last night and god damn, I was not. No. Nope. The one thing's for sure, I am indeed working out tonight, because Christ. Well, I'll figure this out. But one thing's for sure, I'm gonna wrap up my evening here and go pop into a VC somewhere. Wait, Mal, you're in Logan? Oh my god, Mal, you're in Logan server. What the fuck? I just noticed that. Alright, well, welcome to LTG server. But anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to go pop into LGG's server. So if Sean and Mal, you guys want to meet there. Anyways, I'll figure this out through the week here. Probably I'll be spending most of my Monday doing this, distracting myself over my responsibilities of actually getting ready for an interview and then working out. And then coming back to this because I'll be distracting myself from other responsibilities like cleaning my house and then eating food. And then distracting myself from other responsibilities of, like, you know, self-care. But anyways, so I appreciate y'all for watchings, and I will talk to y'all on the flip side. So have a lovely week, and I'll talk to you then.